the router, they want you to do that access list and that access group, and that's it. They even tell you what to do. It's kind of you know what? Let's give them an easy one here for this week. So. You want to go in here and go to the headquarters router, go to CLI, go find out what the hell the password is. Password Cisco.
What would you get for if you beat me?
Alright, and there's no enable password. Let me show run real quick. Looking for gig Ethernet 00. There it is, gig Ethernet 00. And you're gonna write this. Here's how easy it is, boys and girls.
You're just copying. Yes.
Control C.
I don't have a great one.
Config T. Int G00. IP access group 101 in. Here we go. Check results. Bada bing, bada bang, done. Okay. Easy 40 points. Easy 40 points. That's it. Let's go home. I'm kidding. So if you miss this one, there's something wrong. This should be like the easiest 40 points you get all quarter. All right, let's take a look here at Lab 2. We're finishing up that. We're working in the Windows box. So I brought up my Lab 2 Windows box. I'm going to go ahead and so what's on the NAT network? I'm going to bring up GNS3. I'll show you how to incorporate this into the environment tonight. Browse for the it is. Okay. I want to save it. They want to open something. Uh-oh. That's not right. File, project. Oh, this stinks. Why do I not have my GNS3 project? Okay, fine. CIS 467, Lab 2, SQ 18. Well, I guess you get to see me do all this all over again. No problemo. I'll go through it very fast. 7,200. Switch. Switch. Cloud.
Round 2, right?
What?
Round 2.
Yeah, he's doing that over again. We already did that.
Okay. When you get really, really, really intricate, we can do this. Oh, that's not really good. There we go. Fast Ethernet 00 to the cloud. Oh. Zero. Zero. Figure our cloud. It's going to be on our NAT network. Suck. There it goes. All right, apply, go. Okay. Here we go. Turn this guy on. Now I just have to remember what port I put everything on. Go. All right, now let's go ahead and console into the router. And we'll do gig 20, which goes to the cloud. Int G2/0, IP add, DHCP. Shut int F00. That one is on the 10.10.10 network. And int G1/0, which is on the 172 network, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. 172.16.0.2. No shut. And we have to set up our router. Router EIGRP. What did I say? 10, I think. Can't remember. Net 172.16.0.0. Net 10.10.10.0. No auto sum. And then IP route 0.0.0.0.0.0. 192.168.125. Sig, all, more. Look for VMnet 8 so I can point it to the proper IP address. 3, 8. Yeah, 225. So that's going to be my gateway. 225.1. And yeah, I think that's about it for the router. So now let's work on we'll work on the Windows box, and again, putting it on the NAT network at first to get it updated. That's perfectly fine. You can always come back and try to re-IP it to put it on the proper network for access to the internet. But leaving off basically from where we were last week, you can also try to stick it on one of the other networks. Right now I don't have it turned on. I can take it off the NAT network and put it on that server network, which is 172.16. But I gotta make sure I have 172.16. If I don't have 172.16, well, I gotta make 172.16. This is how we do that. So let's do a show. IP config. Let's do up arrow a couple times. There we go. So 172.16. You know what? This is too slow. Let's go with the virtual network editor, shall we? So, virtual network editor. You can get it from Edit and VMware Workstation. What we're basically going to try to do is set up network address translation on the router to allow access for that server out to, oh, there it is, host only VMnet 4. So, okay, so I just got to move my server to my VMnet 4. If you don't have this for Lab 2, you need to make it in the VMnet editor. Okay? And that's just change the settings, create a subnet, give it a, put it on, make it a host only as the type, and you don't have to do any DHCP. You don't need that. Okay, so I'm just going to change this to my VMnet 4. Okay. All right, and then I can turn her on. All right. While that's booting up, do I say what IP to give it? I don't think I do. Oh yeah, .10. So I give it .10. Okay. Not a problem. Here's what we're going to do for NAT. All right. So we're going to create an access list to identify the source IP of those devices that will get NATed, and actually in this case we're actually going to do a port address translation. So IP access list 10 standard 10. All right, permit 10.10. I'm sorry, 172.16.0.0. 0.0.0.255. That's it. No deny, no permit any. We're just looking for permitting that subnet. All right, exit out of that. And we're going to call that access list in our IP NAT statement. So the next thing we're going to do is do IP NAT inside source list 10. Interface, what was the interface that I used? That's 3, gig 20 in my case. Overload. That'll work. Alright. And then we've got to set up NAT on the inside interface and the outside interface. So inside is going to be gig 10, outside gig 20. So int g2/0, we need to put the command in IP NAT outside. And then for gig 10, int g1/0, IP NAT inside. Hopefully, if I did everything right, the Windows box will be able to get out through the internet via VMware via my machine. Won't that be pretty trick, huh? Let's write that to memory. If not, we will troubleshoot it. Okay. So, let's see if the server came up now. Sure did. Control Alt Insert. Boy, what am I make my password? Yay, I remember my password. All right. Doesn't really matter. All right, so from here we need to look at giving ourselves an IP, get it on the network, seeing if we can ping the router, right? See if we can get to the internet, all that good stuff. So a lot of that you don't have to do very much. You can just come down here to your network connection. Right click, open Network and Sharing Center, change your adapter settings. Go ahead and give yourself a static IP of 172.16.0. 172.16.0.10, 24-bit subnet mask, and your gateway, make it .2, because that's the router. And then for DNS, just give it a public DNS like 8888, 4.2.2.2, should be all right. Okay, and close. Still says unidentified network. That's all right though. Go ahead and bring up a command prompt. Might have to drop the firewall. Alright, I can ping myself. Let me go back to the router. Alright. And 10. Let's see if I can ping the. Definitely will not be able to ping that because I've got to go to the Windows firewall and drop the firewall here. Also, my firewall needs to be dropped, which it should already well be. If you run into problems, one of the reasons I'm bringing this out is because this is where a lot of students run into issues. Okay, getting the connectivity working. All right, don't freak out. All right, because what you can do is you can put your Windows box on the NAT network and then work from there. And then always bring it back into the other network after you've got all the users done, the updates done, your software downloaded. That's okay. That's perfectly okay. That's not cheating. That's being inventive, right? You know, that's adapting. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and just go back to our adapter and just change it back to DHCP. Because we're going to take this and put it onto the NAT network and direct it straight to the VMware NAT network. So close all that, and let's go back to VMware. Settings. And change it to NAT. Okay. How do we know that worked? Well, that's a great question. Let's go back and look at our IP config. Hey, looky there. That's a good sign. Do you want to find PC? No. And you'll notice immediately, or next to immediately, that you got onto the internet, you're just fine. Okay, because you went back to that NAT network, you got an IP. All right. There you are. There's your NAT network. Oh. Thought that was your NAT network. Yeah. 225. All right, so from here, you can basically continue on from step 4. Okay? From step 4. All right, so let's go ahead and set up this guy as an Active Directory controller. All right, how do we do that on 2012? Well, we go to local server. You see where services, tools, management, server manager. Here we go. Add roles and features. So if you've never set up an Active Directory controller before, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. You just have to answer a few questions. Okay? Alright. So this is going to be role-based feature and installation, not remote desktop services. Okay, select a server. That's your server. Alright. And then what roles do you want to be? So we want to have Active Directory domain services. And it's going to say, hey, I need all these additional features. Just click at the add features. Okay? We're not doing federation or lightweight or rights management or anything of that nature. You'll want to click DNS server because all domain servers, or all AD servers need to be a DNS server as well. It'll ask you that, or it'll tell you that anyway. Okay? You get this little warning, just click continue. Alright, that is about it. Click next. I'll ask you if you want to do any .NET Framework stuff. Just keep all of this pretty much default. Next. Next. And confirm and install. We'll go through its installation. Okay? And once it's installed, you can then set up your domain, whatever you want your domain to be, or whatever I tell you to do in the I actually don't tell you to do that. So it doesn't matter what you call your domain. You can call it your name.com, your name.net. Right? I'm not going to be a stickler on that. You do have to name it something. Alright? So the check on that is once it's installed, you will have another role pop up here for Active Directory. And in Server Manager, you're going to see additional items. You'll see additional roles here. That's your check. Okay, that's your screenshot. You get that? Once that Active Directory, because Active Directory is going to show up there, DNS is going to show up there. Right? Don't worry if you get like an events thing. You can always just go here and just remove it. How it works. Hey, green's out. Wonderful. Oh no, events. Hide events. It green's up. Okay. So let that go through. Once it finishes, it'll give you a pop-up. It might take a little bit. Okay. Then step number 5, you have a few choices. You can download something free off the internet. That's perfectly fine. You can use the built-in antivirus for Windows, Windows Defender. Just go in and configure it. Run a scan. Show me you did a completed scan. You're done. Okay? Or if you downloaded an antivirus, do a scan. Show me a completed scan. You're done. Right? Pretty simple. Create 5 users. So you have to wait until Active Directory Services is installed on the server. All right, to finish that up. All right, so still installation succeeded. Post deployment configuration. So promote this server to a domain controller. Okay. Select the deployment operation. Add a new domain to an existing forest. Add a domain controller to an existing domain. Nope. Brand spanking new. Everything's greenfield. You may do this like 1 or 2 times in your entire career for real. Alright. So, BrandonBrown.com. Alright. Whatever you want, whatever makes you happy. Next. I just hope I don't run out of disk space. Forest function level. Okay, you have all kinds of different options here. I think it's actually going to gray out to 2012 because it's a new forest. Oh no, it's not. There you go. So 2000, 2008, 2000. Take the latest one. You'll need to type in a directory services password. Okay, don't forget what that is. I don't need to know it. I don't care. But if you do anything later on, you may need to come back to that password. All right, so it's going to have you can skip over this for DNS delegation. Verify the NetBIOS name assigned to the domain and change it if necessary. Give it a second, it's thinking. That's fine, you can keep it default. That's just the domain name or the the name of your DNS server, or your NetBIOS server. Okay, all of these, the database folder, log folder, sysvol folder, you can keep default. Go over review. This is where it would come up and say, oh, you need to, if you did not install a DNS server, this is where it'll tell you, hey, you need to install a DNS server. Oh no, all prerequisite checks passed successfully. These are just warnings. So you can skip over that and install. That'll take a little bit of time. It's like watching grass grow. I know, right? Riveting, absolutely riveting. Welcome to the wonderful world of IT, guys. You will spend more time watching like little circles spin, you know, little hourglasses spin than you'll do anything else in this career, trust me. Just goes with the territory. Okay. Still thinking. There we go. You'll want to reboot. Oh, whoa, what's this? Well, these are all the Active Directory services. It will have to restart. It'll do it automatically. But your local user will get added into the domain admins group automatically first time around, so don't worry. You'll still be able to log in. Like I said, you'll spend more time watching circles spin. Lovely. So who took any of my advice from Tuesday and started looking at jobs differently? You guys remember that? Never mind the Twilight Zone. Getting to that point in my career, I'm like, man, did I tell this class, what, was that 2 quarters ago? We'll see now. I should start doing that on like a weekly basis, just like as you guys are getting out and getting ready to go out into the workforce, we should have like a job review or something. Start looking for jobs so you guys know what's out there.
What was your first job straight out of college?
My first job straight out of college was in the United States Marine Corps. Actually, it wasn't straight out of college. It was after I failed out of college the first time. My first job right out of college after I had gotten out of the Marine Corps, believe it or not, for a couple of months, I was building cabinets for a cabinet manufacturer in the City of Industry. Right? Then I got on with Arthur Anderson, which was a big accounting firm at the time. And I worked in their legal services division as a network engineer. Okay?
What was your job during the Marines?
Huh?
What was your job?
My first 4 years, I was in special operations. I was a parachute rigger, forward observer. I was stationed with an Anglico unit and a force reconnaissance unit out of Okinawa. Then I re-enlisted smartly and went into IT in the Marines. So I went through the Navy Marine Corps Computer Science School in Quantico. I got lucky to go through that school for about a year. Graduated towards the top of my class and got put in with 2nd Marine Division. So I was with 2nd Marine Division, actually 2nd Marine Regiment for 3 years. Done yet? Are we rebooted yet? Yes! Good. So this is going back to the local domain. There you go. So now, from here, when Server Manager pops up, hopefully, take it a second. You're going to see the other, there they are. Your AD, your DNS, everything's green. Woohoo! That's what I'm looking for number 4. Questions on that? Kind of a long, a lot of waiting. Not a whole lot of hard stuff. A lot of waiting. Okay? We kind of covered the antivirus. Patch your server. All right, so let's go ahead and set up. There you go. So go to local server, and then you will see Windows Update. And you'll see that Windows Update is not configured. You need to configure it. Not hard to do. Updates are not being installed automatically. Okay? 2 schools of thought here. Now, for your home workstations, your laptops, yes, set them up for automatic updates. Do not do that for servers, especially in a production environment. You're asking to shoot yourself in the foot. In a production environment, if a patch comes out from Microsoft, there's no guarantee that it's going to be good. Yes, Microsoft has their own QA and quality assurance, and they do that with all their patches. That doesn't mean it's not going to interact horribly with some sort of application you have on your server and take that server down or take that application down or something of that nature. All right? You need to, for whatever server, web server, file server, DNS server, AD, what have you, you need to patch that at a certain time, every month or week or whatever. Okay? Should be on a schedule. All right? So we're not going to turn on automatic updates. We're going to say, let me choose my settings. All right? Important updates, select an option. Download updates, but let me choose whether to install them. Check for updates, but let me choose whether to download and install them. Never check for, oh, that's bad. Especially when it says not recommended. When Microsoft says it's not recommended, that's really bad. So, we're going to check for updates, but let me choose whether to download and install them. Okay? And then we're going to click OK. Now, it says, oh, there's no updates available. Okay? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to check for updates. And see if you get any. We're already past Patch Tuesday, so you might not have anything. It does have internet access, though. Well, while that's doing that, we'll come back to it. The next thing we'll do is set up your users. So you can set the users up via Server Manager. Tools, Active Directory users and computers. Find your forest, here's your forest. Users. Wow, I already set up a bunch of users, didn't it? Sure did. But from here you can just add a user. Create a new user, current container, that's fine. Alright, and you can do a little bit of the homework on setting up your users. Place yourself, Tom and Brandon, the administrator group, local administrators and domain administrators. Local administrators and domain administrators. Alright. Setting up the firewall to only allow the following: DNS zone transfers. Okay, we'll go over that. If you have questions on it, it's pretty straightforward. You're setting up a firewall rule. Alright. Briefly. Okay. You go to Tools. Windows Firewall and Advanced Security. This is going to be an inbound rule. You see, I already have, wow, I'm allowing all this stuff? Yes, you are allowing all that stuff. You already have TCP incoming allowed. Okay? You did that when you set up DNS server. So highlight that. Okay? But it's allowing from everybody. So we got to restrict it. So what you can do is you can come over here and right click and go to Properties. Okay? Allow connections. Remote computers. Only allow computers from you can specify user and computer authentication only when the action is set to allow only secure connections. Oh, skip this rule. There we go. Add. And then you can enter the name or object. The object type, you have to change that to, I'm going to build a group for that. Come on. Check. Local IPs, remote IPs. These IP addresses, that's what I was looking for, the scope. So add. Screenshot that. And you're done with that part of the thing. So 80 ports in SMB to and from 10.0.0/24. Open all traffic within the same subnet. Okay? That's an any statement. I'll let you guys play around with that. Set up NAT on your router. I did that already. I showed you those commands on the router. Alright, and then you're going to set up ACL on the router for RFC 1918. Lock out your aux port, turn off CDP, yada, yada, yada. Okay? So I've walked you through probably at least 80% of this lab. You guys got any questions? Good, because next week we're going to hit lab number 3, which is all about Linux. Doing the same stuff, or a lot of the same stuff, except we're doing Linux. And as an added bonus, we're going to do it from the command line in Linux. Ooh. Okay, fine. I'll tell you what. If you want to do it from the GUI, that's okay. If you want to do it from a command line in Linux, completely, I'll give you an extra 10 bonus points that you show me you did everything in command line for lab 3. So take a look at lab 3 this weekend, next week, whatever. All right, you want to earn an extra 10 points. Do lab 3 completely by command line. That's your challenge. You want to hit the easy button. It's getting into week 8, week 9. You're like, oh, I gotta get these labs done. That's okay. Do it through the GUI. It's kind of a similar process here. You know, that's all right. I won't judge much. Questions? Alrighty then, and we're done. Have a good weekend. Get your homeworks done.